It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Sunday, the 30th of November. I'm Michael Groff, closing out this final day of meteorological fall on a very mild note around here. Temperatures up in the mid-70s this afternoon with lots of sun. A very weak weather system will pass by the Four Corners tonight. There might be a stray rain or snow shower across northern Arizona, but other than that, not much fanfare with that feature. And as we look ahead to the upcoming week, a gradual downtrend in daytime highs, but they should still remain pretty close to seasonal averages. Another opportunity for some unsettled weather over parts of the Southwest comes in here by Wednesday and Thursday. What are the particulars on that? Do we have any shot at rain here in the valley? Are there any big pattern changes on the horizon? We'll talk about all of it and everything else as we dive on in and discuss. First, the almanac from yesterday. 74 degrees was the afternoon high officially in Phoenix after a morning low of 52. 70 and 49 are the averages for this time of the year. Luckily, nowhere near that record high temperature of 85 degrees. We won't see any 80-degree temperatures anytime soon, fortunately. Looking outside now, just after 10 o'clock, we've got sunny sky out there. How about 61 degrees at Sky Harbor? Dew points at 44, relative humidity 55%. The winds are light, and the barometer is steady. Satellite picture out here across the west. We put this in motion. High clouds to the south of us, off to the west, and a weak weather system is off to the north with some rain and snow over the Intermountain West. The tail end of that feature will come through here tonight in relatively dry fashion, and we'll get to that in modeling in just a moment. Other than that, the ridge that's been over the region for the last week or so will start to break down, and we'll see just more of a zonal flow setting up here over the southwest, and eventually an upper low will develop to the south and west of us, and that could set the stage for some unsettled weather later this week. The watch warning map, yeah, it has been quite a wild winter storm the last couple of days across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. Some record snowfall has occurred up there. Some totals that I'm looking at here from just yesterday alone. We saw Duluth, Minnesota chiming in with 5.3 inches, 9.3 inches of snow in Madison. They had 6.1 inches in Milwaukee. Chicago, O'Hare, 8.4 inches. There was 8 inches of snow in Rockford, Illinois, and Dubuque, Iowa had 11 inches of snow, and that was just yesterday. Obviously, we saw some the day before. We're seeing some this morning in some of those areas, so they are going to be digging out from record-setting snow, at least in some areas. You know, it's not unusual to have snow, obviously, in the upper Midwest or the Great Lakes. It's just, this is a little early in the season for those kind of totals, obviously, because some of those weather records go back 150 years. And so, very impressive winter storm up there. Now, out here in the Southwest, quiet, very, very quiet. It should remain so for a while. The convective outlook for today, we don't anticipate any organized severe weather. You could hear a rumble of thunder, I suppose, over parts of South Florida, maybe along the immediate Gulf Coast, the Texas coast over toward New Orleans. Other than that, quiet there. Speaking of quiet, it's the final day of hurricane season officially, and we can put the tropical season to bed here. Nothing going on in the Atlantic, the Gulf, the Caribbean, the East Pacific, and so we won't be showing you these graphics until late next spring, unless by some weird occurrence, something develops out here. Of course, obviously, we'll talk about that, but we don't anticipate that to occur. Here's the precipitation outlook. This is valid through next Sunday morning from the WPC. Rain amounts in Phoenix, we could see a few hundredths of an inch, maybe a little bit more than that to the north and northeast of us over the favored higher terrain areas of central Arizona or the northeastern part of the state, but really not a lot of precipitation is expected. Anything that will occur around here will do so by the middle part of this week, and we're going to talk about that and everything else right now as we get to the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. This is the GFS. It's the 12Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars. It's about 18,000 feet up. All right, I've got an upper low that's well off the California coast. It's stuck underneath this ridge over the northeast Pacific. Another short wave is passing by to the north of us over the Intermountain West. That's the system I was talking to you about a moment ago. The tail end of that feature will come through here tonight. But that system is moving over land. It's not coming at us from the Pacific. It's coming at us from the north. and these overland systems, they just don't have any moisture this far south. So what it all means for us down at the surface for the rest of the day today, sunny sky here in Phoenix. We might see some clouds increase over parts of far southern southeast Arizona with those high clouds to the south, and across northern Arizona with that weather system kind of approaching and moving past to the north and northeast. But otherwise, a pretty quiet day around here. Temperatures in the low to mid 70s in Phoenix this afternoon. Just a beautiful day. Tonight, the sky is clear. The air is dry. Overnight lows in the mid 40s in the cool spots, low 50s in the urban core. Let me show you the HRRR. This is our high resolution rapid refresh model. This is tonight at 10 o'clock. And again, you can see that the tail end of that system and maybe a light shower or some flurries across parts of northern northeast Arizona. We've even put a small chance of snow for Flagstaff, but I just don't think there's going to be anything really measurable. I suppose best case scenario maybe, but nothing that's really going to disrupt any travel. There shouldn't be any real problems, but just keep in mind, if you're up there across far northern and northeast Arizona, if you're up toward Window Rock, you might see a few snowflakes tonight, but nothing to get too excited about there. All right, that system passes on by. Tomorrow, slightly cooler temperatures, highs low 70s here in Phoenix, and somewhat cooler across northern Arizona. You'll feel a little bit more of that cool air with temperatures in the Flagstaff area tomorrow, generally down into the low 40s or so. But other than that, quiet conditions. Let's keep going. This is Tuesday. High temperatures right around 70 in Phoenix. An upper low sits to the west. Another weather system is off to the north and west of us. That drops south toward us by Wednesday, another overland system. But this weak low to the west is going to start to get absorbed by that system and form into more of an open wave. So we'll see some increase in moisture clouds on Wednesday. We'll even introduce a slight chance of a shower by the afternoon on Wednesday and Wednesday night. High temperatures in Phoenix, probably making it at least to the mid and upper 60s. Let's keep going. This is Thursday, and I think any shot at precipitation we have, the best window for that in Phoenix is going to be Wednesday night into early Thursday. We'll call for a chance of showers during that time. But at best, we're going to put the rain chances up into about the 30% bracket. Even if there is precipitation, it's not going to amount to a whole lot. High temperatures on Thursday, again, mid to upper 60s. Here's Friday. That system is out of here. We are dry. High temperatures will be somewhere in the mid 60s to about 70, and it's basically the same forecast as we go to next weekend. This is Saturday. High temperatures anywhere from about 65 to 71 here in the south central deserts. The sky is mostly sunny. The air is dry. All right, a week from today. This is Sunday, the 7th of December. Zonal flow. And that's going to result in temperatures fairly close to seasonal averages. Dry conditions continue. There might just be some passing high clouds. Let's keep going. This is Monday, the 8th of December. And again, zonal flow, dry conditions. Big cold upper trough is sitting across western Canada and the northeast Pacific. We'll watch how that plays out. Looks like it's trying to move a little further to the south by Tuesday, the 9th of December. But around here, again, a fairly zonal flow, laminar kind of flow here. So no real chance of precipitation, maybe just some high clouds, temperatures remaining relatively close to, if not a couple of degrees perhaps, above seasonal averages. Again, I'd say highs mid 60s to low 70s with mostly sunny to partly cloudy sky. Now, other models, especially out in the European set, have really, they're not showing that big cold upper trough at all. They're showing a big ridge out here in the west, and that would result in much warmer temperatures. So there's obviously forecast uncertainty out at this point. But one thing we're going to note here as we show you the precipitation for Phoenix, this goes out through the 14th of December. This is off the GFS ensemble. The trend is definitely toward drier conditions. You can see in this 31-member ensemble, there's quite a few that show 0. And, the ensemble mean is down at about 1/4 of an inch here. It's under 1/4 of an inch on the European ensemble. And even the Euro AI ensemble, which was by far the wettest of our ensemble group here, it's now closer to the GFS ensemble. denoting that if there is any precipitation over the next couple of weeks, it is not going to be very much. And we've been talking about that trend for quite some time, and it seems like the models are catching up to it. All right, temperatures off the national blend of models. Yeah, the trend is down a bit. Highs dropping maybe into the upper 60s, and that's kind of typical for early December. The average high, for example, on the 1st of December, 69 degrees. And it goes down slowly from there. And so we'll be close to that on some days, maybe a little bit above that on others. Overnight lows 40s and 50s, so at or just slightly above average for our low temperatures as well, but nothing crazy out of bounds. All right, the CPC outlook, the 8 to 14 day period, the 7th through the 13th of December, if this is right, temperatures now are skewed toward above average, not just here in Arizona, but across much of the western United States. Again, that's a trend we've been talking about for a while in precipitation. We wondered when this was going to happen, and finally the CPC guys have now put us into the near normal category, meaning that probabilities are just skewed not really toward above or below, but just kind of toward average precipitation for this period. And that's probably the best call here, because realistically over the next at least 10 days, the best opportunity we have for rain here across southern Arizona won't be until Wednesday or Thursday. And even at that, it's looking like it'll be a very light precipitation event, where some of you probably don't see anything at all. And those of you that do, it's generally going to be less than 1/10 of an inch. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. Leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. And if you really enjoy what we do here, you want to support the channel, well, by all means, click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make a contribution to us that way, or via PayPal, groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Our Venmo is also linked up down in the description, so take advantage of that as well. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation, my voice when I don't have a voice, which was the case about a week ago as clawing out of that laryngitis pit. Yes, I'm talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Blogs, videos, everything Michelle related, Kylie related, and Adriana related as well. It's all linked up down below. Give that a look. It's there. And let's see what else. Oh, our streaming station. Yes. Can't forget about that. So we have a ton of fun. We play a lot of music over there. That's called KMGX. It's linked up down below. And also want you to check out Dan over at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel. The Courtroom Files on YouTube, courtroomfiles.com for all your Courtroom Files merch. Dan's got a lot of merch. Dan's got a lot of videos, a lot of content. I said yesterday that he had an alarming amount of content, and I don't know, I think I said something like 1 million videos. It's actually, I think he only has 1,650-ish videos. So I was corrected. 1 million, 1,600, it's still a lot. It's a lot more than you can just watch in an afternoon. So again, if you are stuck someplace, if you're stuck like Chuck up there in Muskegon, Michigan, in St. Joe County, in Fort Wayne, Indiana, you're snowed in, or you just don't want to go out and shovel some snow, I suggest, of course, after you watch this video, that you go and check out Dan and the Courtroom Files YouTube channel. You will not be disappointed. Again, it's endless content. And when I say endless, I mean there is an end, but it will take you probably, I don't know, months of watching it before you could run out of content. And there's new content. He posts 3 videos a day. So I don't know. There's just an endless array of content from that. Just like we do every single day. We give you that the weather updates and all of that. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, all that you guys do, all of your continued support. It's amazing. It is so greatly appreciated. I want you to be safe out there and have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Sunday.